going on, everybody? Thanks for downloading the Voice of Bedlam podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Santoro. We got a nice little show planned out for you today. Changing it up on you.
Little punny.
But I guess just me and John hanging out tonight. So, John, what you up to this weekend, man?
The return of band practice for me, because last weekend I watched my nephew and the Red Rovers Pee Wee team beat Forks Township. So that was nice. It's always nice when the hood boogies beat the rich kids.
I thought they did that game at the end of the year, though, with Palmer. That's Forks and Palmer.
Yeah, I think so.
We're seriously talking about like Pop Warner football right now. Let's move on. There's
what?
Football.
It's all sports, right?
Oh yeah.
It is sports. So sports. Shout out to the Eastern Pee Wees, man. Whatever. You played Pee Wee ball. I played Pee Wee ball. We all started, playing the game and falling in love with it. So,
absolutely.
So, and not only that, the more you played it, the more you understood of the game. I've noticed, at least in Madden, when I can diagnose a defense, I'm like, well, that's because I ran this route and I know that route, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
You learned football from Madden. I think most of the younger generation probably learned football from Madden.
I think everybody's going to learn from Madden, but why not also learn from different, fantasy games and stuff like that? And you can start by
some pick'em games.
Yeah, I think that of it as fantasy, because you're gambling on a team or you're gambling on a player. So why not gamble with a game called Joker. And it's at jokerchoker.com. It is the home of the Pro Football Pick'em Poker, a new style of football pick'ems. Okay, now it's going to bring the strategy of poker to the game of pick'ems. Okay, so you're basically going to pick your teams that you think are going to win, and then you have to make the best poker hand that you can. Our buddy Colin did not get that idea too well. So when we went through our segment last week, he did not go for it. But we got a buddy over here that's going for, as I like to call, and shout out to the movie Revenge of the Nerds, a frush. He's going
Ace
for
high frush.
He's going for the frush. I'm going for the full house of aces and kings. So why don't you get involved and go to jokerchoker.com right now. Use the promo code Bedlam, just like the show, BEDLAM. That's again BEDLAM. Get your bonus coins today.
There you go, guys. So head over to jokerchoker.com. And it's not gambling because it's free to play. You guys don't have to use any money at all, but you can win cash prizes. So hurry up, head over to jokerchoker.com, type in code Bedlam for some extra coins now. But you want to get into today's daily breakdown?
Most definitely.
And you guys already know where we're starting out. That's last night's game, 2016 NFL kickoff. Talking Carolina Panthers visiting the Denver Broncos, the reigning Super Bowl champ Denver Broncos, with a new quarterback, Trevor Siemian. Now, John did a post about this game up at voiceofbedlam.com. But before we get over to that, I want to talk a little bit here first. I was absolutely stunned. I was shocked. I thought that Carolina's defense was going to eat up Trevor Siemian for breakfast. Kid was a third-string quarterback last year. It seemed like he was kind of just a placeholder for Paxton Lynch, who the Broncos drafted with their first overall pick, 31st overall. Would have been 32nd, but the Patriots didn't have a first-rounder due to Deflategate. So with the 31st overall pick, but let me tell you, this kid, I was shocked. He was playing really nice. He was throwing the ball in some tight windows into double coverage, and you trusted him with it. Right from the gate, he threw a really weird sidearm pass and was like, is he going to be making dumb decisions? It was an 11-yard gain. It was an 11-yard gain, but the kid was on point. Yeah. So, John, why don't you give me a little bit of your take on the game.
Well, if you go to voiceofbedlam.com, you will get a full breakdown, and not only that, a little background and a little bit of foreground of where I think the Panthers will go this season. Because honestly,
a little Panthers preview in there.
Most definitely, because if some people think that the Panther, because there's a lot of new Panthers fans. All right, there's new Panther fans now.
Isn't everybody a new Panthers fan?
For the most part, I guess you could say that, yes, because 95 is we've only been in it for 20 plus years, so you only get to brag a little bit, I guess. But I would have to say 2 Super Bowl trips and 3 NFC Championship trips is
it's a nice little franchise.
So it's a good Kickstarter. It's not as great as the Kickstarter that the Baltimore Ravens got, now, because they have 2 bowls under their franchise. So, but I think this is going to be the year. I really do. The defense looked sharp. Bradbury stepped up in key points, but he also missed a couple key tackles, especially the one on C.J. Anderson, and I think it was the first
C.J. Anderson was on fire. I had him last year in fantasy. Why couldn't he do that last year? I mean, I did phenomenal in fantasy last year, but still, I had to cut him because why didn't he do that last year? But I don't think I had anybody going in last night's game, but I didn't check. Did you have anybody going?
Yes, I did. Fantasy? I had Kelvin Benjamin and
he took a nice hit. Got you a little nervous, I bet, when they came out from behind the knees.
Which I think that should be almost illegal like that, man. That's ridiculous. To be able to try to because that's almost like a chop block.
It basically is. But he's taking him down as a tackle, though. It's different.
No, because he could wrap him up. You can grip and rip, you need. I don't know, man. There's a better way. There's a better way than that. That was intentional, and not only that, the intentional hits on Cam Newton. These referees got to start, calling that stuff.
Now, the first time they didn't throw the flag, I agreed with them not throwing the flag. I was like, it's close, but they got to let them play. Yeah. But then when it happened later in the game, I was like, no. That's definitely a flag, and it didn't come. And I was like, well, I guess the kid's not old enough for that call.
Yeah, but Hockley would never say something like that. Why would you say something like that? But honestly, I like the poised, but also very sarcastic statement of him saying that he liked getting hit in the head. And he also, mentioned that, you need to perform in the game, and you can't leave it up to officiating to decide the results in that game.
I mean, that's the politically correct answer. That's
so he knows what to say, but also I think he made it painfully clear that he's like, oh yeah, I love getting hit in the head. That's it's ridiculous, quite honestly, because there was 3. I counted 3 hits. The third one, obviously.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, 3. Three. That was the one that got negated, right?
Yeah, it got negated because of the intentional grounding. But maybe he wouldn't have gotten intentional grounding if he wasn't, getting pummeled in the head.
But let's talk about Denver a little here. Like I said earlier,
defense
I was
sharp.
Yeah, and the offense did too. I mean, they were on a nice comeback. Trevor Siemian, his first interception, kind of fluky. I'm not going to say it wasn't his fault, but it was a tip ball. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The second one I actually missed.
Star's a big dude. I don't know.
Lotulelei?
He's a big dude. I don't know if you I don't think the TV does him justice in the angles, because this dude is like a mountain and he's so explosive. I think he's one of honestly, on that defensive line, I think he's the Jenga piece there, because he provides that pressure, and everybody else around him are playmakers. They're always, so. I can't feel bad about the loss. I have to feel terrible about the officiating, but there's only so many things that you can do. But, honestly, though, the Denver Broncos offensive line, their addition of those 2 new tackles obviously showed that, it was enough protection, because the last time that they met, there wasn't too much offensive production on both sides of the ball. and the defense has decided that game. And once again, the defense has decided this game.
Well, I mean, Denver went on a nice comeback. You guys had a 2-score lead for a little bit, didn't you?
Yes, and
it was a 10-point lead. It was 7-17, I believe.
Then they opened it up on the ground.
Yeah, they did. Anderson really came.
And that's when I was a little bit frustrated with Bradbury, because it's like you got to step up and make those tackles.
You guys had some missed. I mean, K1 Short had a couple missed tackles.
Correct.
And so did Kuechly.
Yes.
The only person I didn't really see any errors out of would have been just because of the
Thomas
age.
Davis.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I thought if anybody would be Thomas Davis, but he comes down with the was it an interception or did he pick up a fumble?
He picked up an interception.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. But it was a nice turnover, I remember. And, I mean, a lot of the star players, like K1 Short,
Luke was a
literally
part
the
of
next
the
play.
fumble.
Well, literally the next play, K1 Short, like, made the tackle for a loss. Like, he got totally shifted to the left past the field, past the play on the play before, and Anderson took it, like, not right up the gut, but like a little trap to the right side. And, for a nice game, but the next play got him right in the backfield.
Yeah, honestly, but I also like the performance out of Jonathan Stewart. I like also seeing Fozzie Whitaker get in there. I think that's a good tandem right now. Maybe getting them a little bit more involved earlier.
How about the fullback scoring on Denver?
He was shot out of cannon on that play. He was moving. I give it to him. That was a really nice play on his part, and he's a rookie, so good for you, dude.
What was his name? You know his name? I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah, because I think I put it in the article, but I'm not sure.
So who are the?
Because I wrote way too much in that article. It was like almost 1,000 words.
Who are the Panthers coming up with in week 2?
They're going to go home and face the San Francisco 49ers at 1 p.m.
All right. Well, they should be able to take that. And that was Andy. What's his name? Andy Janovic?
Janovic, yeah.
Andy Janovic, the fullback for Denver, had that nice little touchdown scamper.
He also had a really nice block.
Oh, he had a lot of really nice blocks. That's what shows you. You need. I'm sorry. I know. Like, I was pissed. Ben McAdoo. We don't have a true with the Giants. We don't have a true fullback now. And they cut the Tasmanian Devil. Henry Hynoski. They cut last year in favor of the Tasmanian Devil. But the Gary Kubiak keeps a real fullback. Their running game is on fire, and the kid scored, which Henry Hynoski seemed like he would have been able to accomplish and did a couple times also. But it was a 3rd and 1 in the second quarter, and that's when they handed Andy the ball for his first career carry, and it was 28-yard touchdown. That's how it comes out to be, and that's from MSN.
Yeah, but that was the one that was like, ugh.
That was a nice play. It was a good blocking. I mean, he didn't even have like a lead blocker. You just saw a hole open up. They showed the really nice camera angle from like right behind the quarterback, and you just saw it like open up, like the Red Sea's parting. I wish the Giants could do that. But Denver. Let me see. Who does Denver have next week? Indianapolis. Denver takes on next week in week 2. Denver will be home again for that game.
Yeah, I could see. I don't know. I could see a little preview. I think Indianapolis is going to take that one.
I don't know. I mean, I can't say that because we haven't even seen them play in week 1 yet. The only reason why I said about the 49ers is I think the 49ers are like completely chaotic and like a lost cause. But I mean, Indy was no gem last year
because Cam Newton exposed some holes in their secondary. Especially with Kelvin Benjamin. I could see, I don't know. But then again, Denver's defense, that's the biggest thing. Can Andrew Luck deliver the ball in enough time? I don't know. That's going to be the flip of the coin, I guess, for me. That's going to be it, whether or not. I guess we'll see how he does going up against Detroit, but I don't
Which
think
is this Sunday. I was going to say, why don't we get into week 1 before we get into week 2 if we want to talk about Indy? I mean, I think that's a nice little tune-up game that they're coming up this Sunday with the Lions.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out, but they're and it's a home game, so
no, it's not. It's Indy.
It's
it is. Yeah,
it's a home game versus Detroit.
Yeah.
So they get to, Andrew Luck maybe gets to try his luck at reversing his dreadful numbers.
Now, Indy went 2-2 in the preseason, but did you catch any of? I know it's a television show, all right. Yeah. I know the NFL is big business, but did you catch any of this garbage pregame crap?
No.
It pisses me off, dude. I want to turn it on, and I want to hear about, predictions. I want to hear, injury reports, interviews, and, who'd they have? One Republic or something like that out there, singing and dancing. It's something like a 12-year-old girl would listen to.
I wish that One Republic was singing the national anthem, though, because...
I'm sorry, that girl, I don't know. That was pretty bad.
There was a couple sour notes on that one.
I mean, she did a way better job than I would have. I'll give her that.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
but
she pulled it out towards the end. But there was a couple sour notes there that I was like, what?
No, I did not care for the way she ended it. I didn't.
Well, she was
trying to make it too jazzy.
She tried, but then she chose a couple notes that just didn't work, and it hurt my ears. So I can only imagine, what other people thought. But then again, maybe there were some people that was beautiful.
Well, I guess even though I don't really want to talk too much politics, but this is another. There was Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, not the wide receiver. Brandon Marshall for the Broncos.
Mr. Headhunter himself.
Yeah, hitting Cam Newton. Marshall came out with a concussion. Well, thought to be a concussion, and then re-entered the game.
Yeah,
he took a knee during the national anthem as well.
Yes.
So I think it's going to continue. I know it will, and I think every week there's going to be another person or two. We'll really see, but the real question is, I completely understand that it has nothing to do with the military, but with it being 9/11 on Sunday, it's going to be an even bigger thing because a lot of people, at least initially, it seems like people are more seeing that.
If anything, everybody should be kneeling on that day, though, because of regardless of. Of what you believe or not, you should be. In most religions, you kneel to pray, right?
Yeah, but I mean during the national
anthem. That's a big honor and respect. Taking a knee. Hey, take the knee.
Yeah, but I don't think that's how they'll be doing it. But I don't know.
It'd be funny because then it's we got everybody to join the cause without them even knowing it. But no, honestly, with 9/11 being Sunday, that's going to be.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting.
Because on top of that, I mean, every You want to make not every week, but I mean, you know, a 9/11 opening home openers for half the teams in the NFL. There's going to be some very big, elaborate American flags on the field, and most of them are probably going to have members of the military and stuff like that. But we'll get into that a little bit more when we preview the upcoming week. Now, we already did our picks for the upcoming week. You guys can go back to last show and check them out, our Choker picks. But before we get into our next little headline here, why don't we take a break and tell you guys about author Yoshiko Career. Now, if you guys need refreshing new ideas and vision for your life, get your copy of Staying Fabulous, A Sister's Guide to a Happier and Healthier Being. Author Yoshiko Career is currently a production assistant in the film and television industry and a motivational speaker as well. This is the author's third published book. Get your copy online at Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, or on your Kindle in Nook. You can also get a hold of Yoshiko Career on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Yoshiko Career. So now make sure you check out her new book, Staying Fabulous, A Sister's Guide to a Happier, Healthier Being.
Check it out.
But with that, let's move right on over. And I'm noticing one thing, and I know some other people are noticing one thing, but I I understand why. I really wish the Johnsonses were here. But Carson Wentz starting.
Finally.
Jared Goff not. What do you mean finally? It's week 1. What do you mean finally? It's week 1. How can you say finally?
Throw him into the mix.
It's his first opportunity.
Throw him into the mix.
Correct response is not finally.
Throw him into the mix.
Yeah, but Wentz starting, Goff not. Now Goff.
Cam Newton started day 1.
Yeah, but my point is, I'm not talking about Wentz starting. I'm talking about Goff not starting. Goff number 1 overall pick. Wentz number 2 overall pick, coming out of a Division II school. Now, and of course, Jared Goff coming out of Cal, Wentz, North Dakota. Now, this was brought up by a reporter when questioning Jeff Fisher, and his reply was, maybe if we traded our starting quarterback, we'd start our rookie quarterback too. And that was pretty much the ends of the questions. Now, Wentz went to the starting position after the Eagles traded Sam Bradford to the Vikings. The Vikings giving up a first-round draft pick shows how desperate they are. Teddy Bridgewater tearing the ACL in preseason, well, actually in practice, non-contact injury, but trade for Sam Bradford, who wanted to be out. Now, there is a post about that up at the new voiceofbedlam.com. Head over to voiceofbedlam.com. Check out the new site.
And
check
improve.
out Bye Bye Birdie by King Kojo Colin Johnson. And I always think that sounds like a boxer name for Colin.
King Kojo Johnson.
Too bad he weighs like 65 pounds.
In the featherweight class.
But so
that's actually a class though. Flyweight too.
Go check that out. But I mean, I think it's too soon for Wentz.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, most people, especially Eagles fans, want to see Wentz starting. Now, Jared Goff, it seems like they really want to redshirt him. Like they don't want him to see the field at all. Now, I do agree with sitting a rookie quarterback, but I would be mad.
How long?
Exactly. I would, as a fan, I would be mad if it took the whole year. I wouldn't think it was a waste, but I would be mad. So, I don't know. I'm kind of torn about the Jared Goff situation, but it really comes down to, if you don't look at it as a fan, you should really just look at it as, is he ready to play yet? And the answer is no. So, I say, why bother then? I think Jeff Fisher, even though he's Mr. 8-8, knows when a quarterback's ready to play. What do you think, John?
The position battles are out there for a reason, and if a rookie quarterback is starting to outperform his predecessor, then it's time to give him the rock and see what he does with it. Like, you have to make a gamble at some point. You gambled on the kid, and especially as a first round pick, number 1 pick. You gotta use him at some point. Like, I know Case Keenum is a decent quarterback and all, but like I don't know. Eventually, I would have to say, if I had to take a rough guess, Jared Goff should be starting by week 6 or 7 in order for me to be, as a fan, I would be happy with that. But maybe, that first pick, the very first pick of the franchise, going back to LA, I should say. But it's, I don't know. You really have to... I guess you chalk it up to veteran snaps, because obviously pro snaps are what translates the most success, because the more...
But Case Keenum is not even... I mean, can you really consider Case Keenum a veteran? I mean,
he's got a few years under his belt being a backup, and then
he's got five years experience coming out of Houston. Now, I don't know though. I mean, Case Keenum, he's not. I just don't consider him a real quarterback. He played in 6 games last year, 2 games in 2014, and he did play 8 games for the Houston Texans back in 2013. But like has a quarterback ever really done anything?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because he went 2013 he was playing with the Texans, 2014 he was with the Rams, then he was with the Texans again towards the end of 2014, and then he went back to the Rams. So obviously the Rams like him, but then they got rid of him, and then they really like him again.
Yeah, he's got a 56.7 completion rating. Career yards he has only thrown for 3,000.
Terrible.
Yeah, only thrown for 3,023 yards. So, I mean, You really like to think that they would have traded for Bradford.
That's a cross sport reference there for some people. Terrible.
That'd be
terrible.
Charles
Keeney.
Barkley.
Terrible. Keeney.
Charles.
Terrible. Yeah, I like that dude, especially when he was a Rocket towards the end of his career.
Right.
But anywho, like I said, Case Keenum, good job getting the starting gig. Honestly, you're basically on the beach with a fresh, cool 6-pack, but you forgot your cooler. So I don't think you'll be able to enjoy your beverages for long. But I see the rookie coming in by week 6 or 7, though.
Yeah. Now, Case Keenum has only thrown for 4 touchdowns in his career. I mean, 1-to-4 ratio with interceptions because he's only got 1 interception. But last year, 4 touchdowns last year, 1 interception. His career touchdowns, 15 to 9 interceptions, throwing for 828 yards last year. But I mean, he doesn't really get much playing time. But still, 6 games, 4 touchdowns. That's not something.
It's what the attempts and completions are.
Well, his attempts are 455, completing 258. I said that percentage is 56.7.
That's terrible. That's not a passing grade.
So it's not. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd be mad if my quarterback, if my first round quarterback can't beat this guy for the job. I would seriously, I understand, 6-8 weeks. That's what I'm thinking. 10, the absolute worst. Unless Case Keenum lights the world on fire, then keep Case Keenum in forever. But I just don't see that happening.
Because they have, Stills, they got Tavon Austin. Austin's awesome. So, I guess in most, as long as you get the ball near some of these players, they're going to make plays out there in LA. So are they gonna? But I think it's still the Todd Gurley show. I think that's another thing that doesn't matter. I don't really
think the Rams are gonna make plays. I mean, Todd Gurley might, but
Todd Gurley's gonna make some plays.
Oh well, yeah, Todd Gurley will make some plays, but I still don't think the Rams are anything. Jared Goff was drafted to sell jerseys, to be a poster boy for the new stadium, for the new team that just abandoned their fanship and wants to move to a market.
So
that
then why is he
seems to
sitting
never
on the
work
bench
for
day
football.
one when he could be playing?
Well, hey, the jerseys are still going to sell.
The jerseys are going to sell, but
and that's more of an owner thing. Jeff Fisher is a real coach. Jeff Fisher's not a puppet.
Almost definitely.
So he's really the one with the decision, and I don't think he will sit all year, but he is 3rd on the depth chart. So
I remember him as a Titans coach in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, he came over from Houston. I was going to say earlier when you were talking about the Panthers and all that, we were talking about how you came in good and how the Ravens came in good. But think about the poor Houston fans. I mean, Houston was just garbage.
Correct.
For so long, after Bum Phillips and all that, even with Bum Phillips sometimes, and then they up and move, and Jeff Fisher takes them on that run. They lose the Super Bowl by a yard. They come back as the Super Bowl losers, still had a parade because, Steve McNair and all that, the city of Tennessee was just so high on them. Their fans have it the worst. Or you could be a franchise like the Houston Texans or the Jacksonville Jaguars when you come in as a new franchise. 2 teams that have really done nothing. I mean, with Coughlin, the Jaguars did play in the conference championship. The what was that? The second year, just like the Panthers.
Yes.
Yeah, the second year of operation.
Basically, because they were announced in the '94 draft that there was going to be expansions going into the next year. And if you played Madden that year, you could put
it always goes back to Madden.
You could go and put in a cheat code, right? And you could play as the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Panthers.
Oh,
but
really?
it was just like random players though. So you got to play as the Panthers and the Jaguars before they were in the league because they already showed all the uniforms and everything. I still remember the draft and that they did. They did a supplementary draft. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, Mark Brunell. I mean, when I was a kid and the Jaguars came out, I thought they were awesome. I was like, oh, the Jaguars. I'm like 8 years old. I'm like, this is awesome. You know what I mean? I still always bled blue, but I definitely thought the Jaguars were cool. And when I was a kid, I liked running quarterbacks when I was a kid. Before I understood
that
football.
in Legends of the Hidden Temple. He's like, oh dang, John, now we're spiraling down memory lane in nostalgia over here now.
All right, but we're gonna take a quick break and let you guys hear about a great new app.
Are you looking for the next big sports app? Visit LiveSportsGameApp.com. Interact with live sports games. Experience in real time. Call plays, even compete with friends every day. Play, share, and earn big cash. That's LiveSportsGameApp.com. Play anytime, anywhere for free. They're changing the way you play sports one player at a time. This first ever live sports app is launching in the fall of 2016. Join as an affiliate and make some great commissions or as a free pre-registered player. That's LiveSportsGameApp.com. Why wait? See for yourself why everyone loves this new app. LiveSportsGameApp.com. Are you ready to get in the game?
Okay, all right. So now we're going to start previewing the rest of the Week 1 slate. Now, because it's my show, we're starting with the Giants. Now, we're not going to go through every game, of course.
Although
we did
you
our
have
picks
nothing
last
Giants on right now. The only thing Giants right now is like my mic cover.
Yes. The
big blue pop filter.
There you go. But getting to the Giants game, Giants will be visiting the Cowboys for their 108th, count 'em, 108 regular season meeting between the two. Now, last year, the Giants and Cowboys split the series with the Cowboys winning the earlier game 27-26, but the Giants coming out on top 27-20 later in the year, which didn't really matter. Neither one of the teams made the playoffs. The NFC East was a joke last year.
Pretty much.
But either way, the Giants have started out flat for the past couple of seasons, the last 3 seasons, and they could really set the tone. They used to own Jerry World down there, AT&T Stadium. They spoiled the whole opening party. The first game in that stadium was a Giants game that the Giants upset the Cowboys in. Eli Manning was undefeated at that stadium, and then they've lost like the last 3 there now. So if they could really come back, kind of steal that field again. I mean, they've chanted "Let's Go Giants" in there like several times in AT&T Stadium. They need to make that happen. Set the tone for the year. Come out hot. Don't let the papers destroy them from the get-go.
Well, that's because Jerry made it a destination spot. He made it one of the
everybody's
stadiums.
visitors.
And my brother got to go there, and he's a Cowboys fan. So yeah, it is an attraction as well because that giant television just to see how that works. So
even if you're not a Cowboys fan, like if I was going to go to an away Giants game, I would love to go to an away Cowboys Giants game. You know what I mean? Like just to go see. And I think people, do that. They want to hit
pretty decent.
Just like Lambeau Field. Like that's like not that AT&T Stadium is historic. It's more of like a super stadium.
All right, now I'm going to ask you some questions about your team, though, because there's a few question marks that I have, going into this game. The Dez Bryant, and then you also have Terrence Williams and Cole Beasley. Does your secondary have enough to cover that? Yes, especially if healthy. We have Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. He's going to be with Dez most of the time, I would assume, except when Dez lines up in the slot. So then no.
But hold on.
Actually, you have to double him.
No, I actually did a post about this. If you go back to a Giants OTAs post up at voiceofbedlam.com, DRC has been asked to play in the slot before by other teams, but he wasn't warned, he said, and that's why he didn't want to do it. Okay. He knew coming into this year that he was going to be playing in the slot a little bit, so he said he's totally comfortable with it because the times he didn't like it in the past was because he felt he didn't know the position well enough because he's never played it before. But from day one of this year, they've told him that sometimes he's going to have to play in the slot, and he says he's fine with it because now he's practiced it and he learns the position. But that doesn't mean, well, actually, no, I don't want to see Eli Apple week 1 lined up across from Des Bryant. I mean, well, I was going to say Romo would attack that, but they're playing against a rookie quarterback and Dak Prescott. I kind of forgot about that part. That's a pretty big headline. And you also have Janoris Jenkins on the other side. I think our defensive backs can hold them. Dez would be the biggest threat, of course, but I think they should be able to keep him under wraps. Hopefully, I mean, Nat Burhay is really unproven. He's going to probably be lined up at free safety, Landon Collins at the strong. Hopefully, with him over top, it'll give him a little boost, plus the rookie quarterback. So maybe he'll be able to jump some routes.
Going to be able to put that pressure on him.
Okay, well, that's one thing
you're gonna have to
that I definitely see going in favor to the Cowboys. I think they will not win, but they'll win a lot of them. I don't want to say they'll dominate. Their offensive line on paper is better than our defensive line. That's the long and short of it. Now, hopefully Steve Spagnuolo in his second year during his second tour with the Giants can get everything set up right. I mean, I know it was the 4th week of preseason, but they played really nice against Brady. Hopefully they can continue on that high note.
Yeah, well, also, does your linebacking core have what it takes to cover the
Jason Witten,
the difference makers of, because you're talking about different pace runners with Alfred Morris and Ezekiel Elliott.
The backs, okay.
So
all right, we'll see where the Giants are weakest at the linebacker position. That's usually in pass coverage. Now, Devon Kennard, this will be his 3rd year. Didn't take any snaps last year, being moved to IR. He had a really nice rookie campaign. Came out with OBJ and Andre Williams, who the Giants cut last Saturday. Local kid got cut by the Giants. Signed with the Chargers, I believe. But
cool.
But the linebackers, we're better at stopping the run than the pass of recent history. It's really hard to predict things like that for week 1, but our linebacking core has gotten better. And more importantly, our defensive tackles, with the addition of Snacks, has gotten better. And also, now, I said earlier that their offensive line was better than our defensive line. Yeah. Our defensive line is really good on paper, but they haven't played a real game yet. And we haven't really been able to see what these guys are going to do, so I can't crown them until they prove it. Therefore, I see the Cowboys' offensive line as a more cohesive unit.
One last question. Does the name Brandon Carr scare you?
Why would the name Odell Beckham Jr. should scare Brandon Carr, if anything?
I don't know, because he's the highest paid in that defensive lineup there. So
I got this really nice picture downstairs. Yeah, I got this really nice picture.
Yeah,
it's Odell Beckham. It's like some I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's some crazy like Matrix style catch, and right like on the ground below him as he's committing a penalty, you just see the name Carr on the back of the opposing team's D. So
yeah. So with that being spoken, do you think that it's going to be repeated, or do you think that the salt in his mouth because he got posterized and
he did.
And basically recreated on a Madden cover.
Yeah, dude, that play won play of the year, and won play of the year at the NFL at every award. It won play of the year at every
SBs and all that stuff. Yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to completely underestimate the Cowboys' defense, but I'm more threatened by the offense than I am their defense. That's the way I feel. The Giants' the Giants' offense is more proven than their defense is.
Yeah, because their secondary is looking like this: Brandon Carr, Morris Claiborne, Orlando Scandrick.
Orlando Scandrick, he can play.
Yes, so that's why I was like, all right, well, there's going to be some, Sterling Shepard's going to be getting somebody, which is probably going to be Orlando.
I got Sterling Shepard in a couple daily fantasy games. I'm going to say I think I got in 6 daily fantasies.
Then maybe you might want to check the waiver line.
The daily fantasy.
Oh, daily fantasy.
Like
oh, so you can't.
DraftKings.
Oh, I don't. I actually don't do that stuff. I've never done the daily.
You should get in because you can get in for free.
Oh, well, how do I do that?
I will hook you up.
All right, he will hook me up. He's gonna hook me up. All right, so I'm gonna try that out because I've never done that, honestly.
No, let's talk about daily fantasy for a second here. We've talked enough about the Giants-Cowboys game. We'll move on. But in daily fantasy, I mean, you'll see it's really a different strategy because you really don't have to look at the schedule. You don't have to worry about bye weeks. You don't have to worry about the waiver line. It's a salary cap league.
Okay.
So you really, at the end, you got to start using some strategy. There's a couple different ways you can go about
bonuses? Like if let's say I go in and I spend the least amount of money, but then they all go hot and they just go all.
You can win $5 million.
Like, if I have money in the bank like that, like is it like bonus? Like is it like that? Like or like how's it go, bro? Like
you don't know how DraftKings work? All right, basically.
No, I really don't. Like explain this.
You can play like I'm in a bunch of $3 games.
Okay.
That first place wins $1 million.
That's pretty. But dope.
There's like 2 million people playing. The odds are harder.
Yes.
You can get in $20 games that are only 10 people playing, or $100 games that are only 10 people playing. But the big games that they advertise, they're usually in week 1 they're real cheap and you can get in for free. Do you know what I mean? And then they'll go on. They'll become like $20 to get in, and winner takes home $1 million, and second place takes home like $500,000, and the top 40,000 people will win some type of money, be it $10 or $7,000.
Yeah. Well, as long as I could get into that, I guess, because I definitely pay attention to the game enough.
The strategy is a little different, you know what I mean? But you'll have to try it out this week.
Yeah, I'll have to try it out and see what happens because, that's new to me. But speaking of fantasy, I don't know about you, but I think I want to talk a little bit about our fantasy league, a little bit, if that's all right. Which Draft Kits was very gracious and very awesome to provide.
Bedlam's Fantasy.
Indeed, and the awesome trophy and awesome kit. Actually, when we drafted, there was a bunch of people that asked. My other draft leader, as I like to call him, because I don't like to call him commissioner, because that's a title that's
degrading to you, isn't it?
It does feel degrading because it's like commish. Yeah. Hey, what up, commish? And it's like almost like it's almost like going up to somebody and be like, hey, what's up, chief?
Yeah.
It's very.
But what's going on in our league?
What's going on in our league? Well, I played Greg Olson. That was the only thing I played in our league through the Carolina game, and he got me 14 points, 7 receptions for 73 yards.
All right, but who else you got?
I'm going up against Cuba Libre.
Oh, so you're going against Colin. King Kojo.
Yes. So week 1.
What's your lineup looking like? Run through it. Don't.
All right. So we got. He's starting Eli Manning versus my Derek Carr.
Ooh, also a good choice.
Because I sat Mr. Cam Newton, who would have gotten me 25 points, but I also sat Kelvin Benjamin with 21 points on the bench.
Yeah, wow. Oh, dude, ain't that a kick in the head?
But as I progress, you'll see. All right, I can see why you gamble a little bit, John. All right, here we go. So Derek Carr is going up against the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, that's a great matchup. I got him in daily as well.
So Todd Gurley is coming from Kojo's side, and I have David Johnson.
David Johnson. Now, who is Arizona squaring up against? New England?
New England. And then LA is going up against San Francisco at San Francisco. So
yeah, I really think LA might squeak out their first win. I do think they might get it. Let me get over to my game. Now, I'm playing good old the other Johnson. I'm playing Sean. And let's see. Here's the studded Leatherheads. He's got Carson Palmer, Lacey, OBJ. But I got Antonio Brown. So talk about a week 1 matchup. So
I thought you guys were making a trade.
Phillip Rivers. I have Phillip Rivers and Antonio Brown. I'm also starting Brandon Marshall and Gary Barnage. Now, me and Sean got a lot invested in this.
The headhunting one or the I'm joking.
Me and Sean got a lot invested in this game because he's also got Witten going in that Giants-Cowboys game, so he's got Beckham and Witten going.
I could see that. It's a good move.
I mean, we have a pretty even lineup, it seems like. My flex being Emmanuel Sanders got me 9 last night.
That's not too terrible. But since
Going with a Cincinnati defense.
Cincinnati defense.
Yeah.
Who's his defense?
Houston.
Not too bad.
Yeah. Houston really crapped the bed early in the season for fantasy defense last year.
Yeah, to round up my lineup here, Justin Forsett's going in, Amari Cooper.
So you got Amari Cooper and Carr. That's the way you got to do it. I always do that in daily. Yeah. I always get, even if it's not the number one guy, because it's almost impossible to get Odell Beckham and Eli Manning. Eli Manning's usually like the 6th highest quarterback.
Gotcha.
Odell Beckham's the 2nd highest wide receiver. And then if you do that, like, it totally screws the rest of your team because you don't have any money. So, but when you can get a good deal, that's why I go with David Carr, because I like to tag team David Carr with Amari Cooper. Derek Carr, because they're not very cheap. They're both still top end, but they're the back end.
I got
top
you.
End.
Yeah.
So
then I'm starting Dante Moncrief and Michael Floyd. So that's why Kelvin Benjamin sat on the bench, because
a lot of Cardinals going.
Yeah, I got a lot of Cardinals starting. Their defense is starting, and I got Gostkowski on the other side of the ball kicking. Kojo, though, he's got Mason Crosby and the Green Bay defense and special team.
Who are the Packers going up against?
They're going up against
Jacksonville.
in Jacksonville.
Yeah, but I don't know. Let's talk about that game. Now, that's one of the 1 o'clock games. Fox Packers at Jacksonville. Now, Jordy Nelson will not be playing, but both Allens will be playing for the Jags. So it's kind of scary. I mean, I do think Green Bay should be able to outmatch the Jags, but you took the Jags in the pick'ems, the Joker pick'ems. But I mean, the Hurts, they might be able to get an upset. I do have the Packers in this game, but the Jags might be able to pull the upset at home. Now, let's run through some of these other 1 o'clock games. Now, Bucks-Falcons, a nice little NFC South matchup. I'm sure our friend out there, Sam Stocks, will be pretty interested in that. Make sure you guys go over to voiceofbedlam.com.
What are you
check
talking
out
about?
Sam Stocks.
Alarm set.
Yeah, check out Sam Stocks' latest post just went up today on the new voiceofbedlam.com. Post just went up today, his power rankings for week 1. And now Sam was supposed to be on the show, and we were supposed to kind of argue with him, and kind of like we did with his other rankings. But we'll have to save that for next week. I'm sure he'll be doing a regular power ranking segment of the Voice of Bedlam.
Defend yourself, sir.
Yeah. All right. So also we're looking at Vikings at Tennessee, Browns at Eagles, where number 2 overall pick Carson Wentz will get his first career start. The Bengals will visit the Jets at MetLife. Raiders starting away at the Saints. Chargers at Chiefs. Bills at Ravens. Bears at Texans. And Dolphins at Seahawks for the first 4 o'clock game. Now, out of those games, I mean, we're kind of running right through them. I mean, I see the most interesting games. I mean, Buccaneers, Falcons. I mean, Julio Jones, Jameis Winston, Mike Evans, Duggernaut. Cool. It's a good matchup, divisional matchup. Atlanta really crapped the bed last year after starting off 6-0. Everybody wants to see Evans coming into his 3rd year. He should really
we'll have to see what Devonta Freeman does.
His peak, not his peak, but really start to be a real NFL player. Jameis Winston, sophomore year. I mean, the 1 o'clock games, I don't know. What's your most interested 1 o'clock game? I guess I'd be interested in the Bengals, Jets, and the Raiders. Fantasy
aside, I definitely want to catch the Ravens, Bills. I think that's going to be a really defensive matchup.
Okay. I'm not really interested in that game at all.
Oh, see, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I think I have the Ravens being like the sleeper team in that division.
Yeah, you've been saying that.
I think this is going to be their year, and I know the Bills are. I think they're going to be one of those teams that turns it up towards the end of the season, but right now, I think the Ravens are going to take that one definitely. So.
Okay, and then we got the Dolphins, Seahawks at 4:05, and then the game that I'll be waiting for. I hate when the Giants play later. I want the Giants at 1. I get so mad. I don't care about the 1 o'clock game at all then. I just want to know what's going on with the Giants. Giants. And it just makes me mad. I need the Giants to play at 1 o'clock. I hate it when they don't.
Well, you get 4 o'clock. You get an actual 4:25.
Yeah,
4:25. 5:30.
At Dallas.
5.
Talked about that game plenty. Another 4:25 game. Lions Colts, as we talked about, and then the NBC national televised game. Patriots at Cardinals, double Monday nighter. Steelers at Redskins. Rams at Niners.
Yeah, the Monday night showdown. I think the one that's going to get my attention the most is going to be the Steelers Redskins. That's going to be a decent game.
Yeah, but I'm interested to see if LA takes out San Francisco, because I think that's like the 2 worst teams in the league, throwing the Browns. Yeah, it's like really.
That's going to be that. That's going to be that game because it's 10. It's starting, and it's also starting at 10:20. Yeah, I can't do it, dude.
Oh yeah, it's a West Coast game.
Yeah, I'm not
West
doing
Coast.
it. Yeah, I'm not staying up late for that. Not to watch that Boar Fest.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think those are definitely going to be.
It's going to be the Todd Gurley show.
They're going to be top 10 first overall.
Carlos Hyde's going to have a good game too, possibly.
I mean, Case Keenum. At least Gurley's.
It's going to be a lot of running.
Gurley.
Going to be a lot of running.
And San Francisco ain't really got too much of a defense, so
and
talking some
you
fantasy.
Can bet on Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. And it's on September 12th, so so it's not too offensive now, is it?
I don't know. We've talked way too much about that, and
well, it seems like it's like a side topic now that everybody's going to be trying to talk about in commentary. That was brought up very briefly in the Panthers Broncos game. But
Brandon Marshall, linebacker.
But then he later went out there and headhunted for Mr. Cam Newton, which hopefully from some of the things I've been reading, support that there's going to be something in retaliation for that.
That would come out on like Tuesday or Monday, though, wouldn't it? Usually, I don't know with it being a Thursday night game.
Yeah, I don't. Well. It's so fresh right now, so everything that's out right now.
I think they wait till the weekends.
Maybe, because...
Especially with them not being penalized. I don't know. Do they... I don't even know anymore. Do they penalize? You can find a player that wasn't penalized? Okay, all right. Yeah.
Yes, there's a... now I just... his name escapes me. Burfict, right?
Oh, Vontaze Burfict.
Yes, Burfict.
Oh, yeah, in the playoff game.
Yo, he got tons of fines after games, and then it's like, whoa, to the point that like he basically almost like signs away like a quarter of his check just the fines.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, I don't care. Here you go, fine.
But
it's interesting though.
All right, well, we're going to wrap things up for today. I mean, there's plenty of real football this weekend.
It's going on.
It's going to be
7
games.
It's here.
7 games between now and Monday. That's what I'm talking about.
It's football
NFL.
time.
Football is back.
Indeed.
So I love how we haven't talked about basketball, baseball, or hockey or anything like that in like a month.
Well, that's because
football is back.
Football's back, and yes, football, and as the great Peyton Manning and Eli Manning would say, football.
I like that new commercial with the Mannings where Peyton's got nothing to do.
Yeah, it's great.
We're going to roll.
What are you doing, bro?
We're going to roll on out of here. So we'll catch you guys next Tuesday. Going to be sticking to our new format, Tuesday, Friday format. Make sure you guys sign up for Joker Choker. Get in on all the fun. Your picks are due by Thursday, so get them in. All right, guys. For John, I'm Andrew Bedlam, and we're getting the hell out of here.
Peace.